And that's, so Simba's considered a magic card. I usually put him in at the beginning of the game just to use him for a little bit, and I'll put him in at the beginning of this game just to show him off. He's fine. He's time consuming and expensive. So he costs 30, okay? So I've got 254 over 325, so I can afford him. I always will put him down. I always segment my cards usually, unless I'm creating slates. But if I'm running a deck with just planning on 1, 2, 3 attacking, I put attack cards at the top, magic, healing, potions, and zeros at the bottom. Speaking of that, I'll edit that in a second, but I'll put Simba between Blizzard and Cure. So now I'm gonna take out hold on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so I didn't know that existed. So, okay. So, I'll reset this just to show this off. So I have this 0 here, and as I said, I want to put this directly to the left of my reload button in combat. So I can hit triangle to move this down, and now it's to the right of the potion, to the left of the reload. And then I just figured out I can hit the touchpad, and all cards will move up to account for that gap now. It doesn't matter if the gap is there. The deck will still close. You can still use it. It's not a big deal. But just for, you know, sanity / prettiness sake. One last thing to keep in mind. A deck can only hold 99 total cards. It's never really come into play for me. I've never really ran a deck that had that many cards. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. Alright. So we can continue on. We also got the Key of Guidance, and I should say I won't be hand-holding this as much, and I'll be just speed-running along in a bit, but I just want to explain all this. So this is a room where untold stories unfold. This is Key to Guidance. It's the second of the third trio of keys that you get that give you little story elements and help you get through the level to the next world and all that. Also, you can see it delineates my cards RGB, red, green, blue. It's already in order right now, but you can also hold 99 total map cards, and what it will that is accounting for stacking. Okay, so right now I can't show this off because I only have one of each card, but if I had 2 Feeble Darkness, it will say at the top 6 of 99 cards, but I believe it'll still keep red as 2. No, it won't. It'll update that number, so never mind. And then the exclamation point is the Key to Guidance. And there's also, I think there's just one other key, or maybe there might be 2, but there's definitely one other gold card that we'll run into eventually. Those are like bonus cards, and we'll get there soon. So now I need to jump up here, so I grab the top, and I'm going to go through this door to get to the next room. So now I can create whatever I want. So I'm thinking I'll show off Martial Waking, so all my attack cards will be more effective in this room. So I'm gonna pause really quick just to show, no gimmicks here. I'm running 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. This room does not affect spells or potions, so just keep an eye on the attacks. Again, smashing the barrels, because I am a little low on health, and I get some Moogle points. I can smash the flags. If they're green, I generally don't care. Okay, so now I'm in a combat. So take a look here. I've got a 9 attack card. And I just did 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4, and 3, and now my magic is what it is originally, and I'm shooting a 5. Now here's Simba.
Courage!
He comes, takes over for your screen, and deals damage to whatever's directly in front of him. That's important to note. So there's a 9 cost stagnant space. So at this point, I'll take some health. You don't want to stay, because I'm just doing an honest playthrough. I'm not doing stay at 85 health kind of thing. So I'm going to take, occasionally I'm going to take some HP pickups. But yeah, so my attack cards are 2 higher. A very important note. Oh, I want to catch that card. A very important note about Martial Waking and 0 cost cards. If I flip right here, you can see my 0 cost card is now a 2 cost card. So be careful with that. If you're going into a room that you think you need to break an enemy on, don't put Martial Waking in if you've got 0s around, because it will transform those into 2s. And you cannot overwrite that. I mean, there's actually an enemy card that lets you do that, but that's not what I'm discussing.
Courage!
So you can see anything that was behind him took 0 damage.
Heal!
So here's my 0. Now I'll reload. I'm gonna stack Goofy up, so now I have Goofy Tornado level 2, so I'll take a look at that because I don't think I'm gonna get another Goofy card. This combo's insane. Goofy will spin around and deal damage to anything he hits. He does a lot of damage. Shadows can blend into the floor, which is what he was doing, which is why Goofy didn't kill him. When the round ends, any experience that's floating around still, experience disappears over time. But any experience that's floating around still and the cards that you get from the combat will absorb into your inventory. One last thing I'll show, and then I'll probably just do standard combat to not worry about explaining a lot unless something comes up, is the consideration that these are confined battles. But you can still run. I believe there's an achievement, and I've already achieved it, of not running during any point in the game. But let me kill this soldier. If you go to the any side of the no, I thought it was any 4 walls. So it must be just the 2. So if you go to where the so that makes sense. So where there's like arches and there's a way out, if you go against that wall and hover it, you'll see an escape bar. And you need to run against that for an amount of time, and when that fills, you will escape the battle successfully and be free. Alright. Teaming Darkness, I'll go over that in a second, and here's a premium bonus. I think premium bonuses are extremely overrated, and I will be declining this. However, I'll explain what it does. It's like a slot machine. You press X when you want it to stop. It affects whatever card it lands on. That card becomes premium. What that means is it costs far less CP to put in your deck. There's a catch, though. That card now expires after using it, even if you are using it on a single use. Normally, as I've said, the only way for a card to expire is if you're putting it into a slate, outside of friend cards, and that's true. But if a card is premium, it will expire in a slate. The benefit to a premium card is if you're running a slate deck, you can put premium cards in as potentially the first card in your combo, because those cards are going to be eaten anyways, and then you're saving points putting that into the deck. If that makes sense. If you approach an enemy too close like I did without hitting it, you'll auto go into the battle.
Freeze! Courage! Donald!
Donald deals a lot of damage at this point in the game. So I will be trying not to dwell on combats too much in this game, because they do get eventually, and especially at the beginning, they get very repetitive. But I will need, a certain amount of experience and slates and card points or whatever to make a deck effective enough to beat some fights. So there may be a little bit of grinding in this series, but I will be keeping it to an absolute minimum. and if it gets too extreme, I will take it off camera.
Donald!
So another level up, I'll take a CP boost here. So yeah, crates can give as little as 4 Moogle points. I mean, obviously they can give as little as 0, but the minimum that you can get if you've successfully extracted Moogle points is 4. So forgive me if I'm not switching cards accurately or correctly. At the beginning I went ahead and toggled over the secondary mode of switching because that matches the lock-on mechanism from Kingdom Hearts 1, so I thought it was easier. And it does feel easier, but the downside is switching cards is now on the regular button I'm used to now. Alright. So on the map now, you can see the map functions as like kind of, I guess you could say, a compass, depending, and so we are the Keyblade. Sora is the Keyblade in this scenario, and anytime that he changes his face direction, the Keyblade changes direction. So you can see here, this is a good place to do it as an example. So I'll go right in front of this door. Well, we'll talk about this in a minute after this Heartless fight.
Freeze! Courage! Heal!
So, oh, that's Goofy, so never mind. Shadows are the weakest enemy in the game. They run a deck full of 1s, so he can't break that too. Okay, here's an enemy card. So I got the Shadow, so you get copies of whatever the enemies you're fighting are sometimes. The probability percent is really low. And I'll go over that in a second. I wish that thing would go away so I can try to explain this. Not sure if it's going to want to try to hit me. It's disappearing out. Okay, so take a look at the top right and you can see the map. So now I'm facing this door, so you can see the compass says I'm looking at the door. So let's say I want to look back at where we came from, okay? So you can see the door's right there. I'm looking at it, so now the Keyblade compass is saying I'm looking down, okay? Same thing for this door, although it's on a diagonal curve and it only really matches when you're true facing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this enemy out, then go through this door, but I'll also show off our first enemy card. As he said, enemy cards are the 4th type of card, and they all have their own values, costs, and effects. So this is Shadow. He increases the value of all cards, so that's attack and magic and potions, by 1. He costs 25 to put in the deck, so I'll at this point I'm just going to put him in the deck. But the other thing is, let me take a look at him real quick, is limit 2 reloads. So as you saw before, every time I was reloading my deck, so he'll have a counter, and it'll say 2. And once I reload my deck, his counter will go down to 1. And I don't believe it's a grace counter, so I believe once I go from 1 to 0, it's not, you're on the final one as 0, and then you are done. It's 1 to 0, and then you're done, I believe. We'll take a look at that, if that's true. But so, he'll turn, again, you gotta be careful with this because he's turning that 0 into a 1, but he's turning this into an 8, 7, 6, etc., etc. I also have a symbol level 6. I'll put him in for now, because it doesn't matter. And we'll try to go through this door. So, the cards you see shall be the key, criteria on the top, a card with the number 3 or higher. So I'm going to find whatever card I want least that can meet that criteria, and zeros won't work. I don't particularly care about stagnant space, nor lasting days. So I'm going to put an 8 stagnant space in, and I'm going to put a key of guidance in, and that'll unlock the door. Aerith, have you forgotten me too? I don't know whether to say nice to meet you or good to see you again. I don't think I know you, but I still feel like you belong here. I'm the great ninja you... Yeah, exactly. Like we've never met, but it still doesn't feel weird knowing your name. But I'm telling you, we have met. We took on the Heartless together. We were a team. Not true. Nobody else did combat in that first game, I believe. It feels like you're right, but I can't remember. Then I guess you won't remember what you told me. In Hollow Bastion, when I sealed the keyhole. So this is what a cutscene I was going to point out, but I never got around to it in Kingdom Hearts 1, but... Leon said this in Hollow Bastion. We may never meet again. But we'll never forget each other. See? You do remember. He's right, Leon. I remember you saying that too. I guess I can't write it off as a coincidence then. I don't have any memory of it, but somehow I still remember. I think your heart is doing the remembering for us. My heart? We don't know you, Sora, but your heart is full of memories of us together. Those memories must resonate in our hearts too. Maybe they tell us things we couldn't otherwise know. So you're saying that Sora's memories are affecting ours? His memories do seem to have a certain power. Maybe it's like that guy said. Then, this town is just an illusion, something my memories created. And there's someone special to you in this town? How did you... I get it. My memories are resonating with yours, telling you what happened. Yeah, a friend of mine is somewhere in this town. I mean Castle Oblivion. Castle Oblivion? What's that? There aren't any castles in here. That's not quite what I mean. You're still not sure what's going on yourself, right? Right. We just got here after all. I want to take a better look around. Then go have a walk around town. There are Heartless, but that's no problem for you. So you know I can fight. I can't say I know, but I feel like believing you. Let's leave it at that. So, Key to Truth is the final of the 3 keys, and this is, spoiler alert if you want, but this is generally where all the boss fights in the game take place. I should say world boss fights. So, if you have watched my or any Kingdom Hearts 1 playthrough, you would be able to, you'll know what boss. Ooh, nice. You'll know what boss is going to be coming up. So Proud Roar level 2 is the same attack, but he does more damage with it. And that occurs by stacking Simba cards.
Goofy! Whoa!
Alright. So now I go down here. Card with a number 6 or higher or 0. So now I can use a 0 card. And I have a ton of 0 cards, so I'll spend 1. I'll show off Sleeping Darkness in this room. So now remember, I'm not in a Martial Awakening room now, so all my attack cards will go down to their standard values. So now, as I said, you'll see this is a very small room, and the enemies are pre-pronounced, so they won't spawn in. And you can. The nice thing is you can get a first strike on all of these, because why wouldn't you? Because they're literally standing still doing nothing.
Yeah.
And because you're hitting them to awaken them instead of running into them, they start out stunned. As soon as you wake up an enemy from that stun, though, they start to have the ability to throw cards around. But any enemy that's stunned, so as I've been only attacking one enemy at a time, any enemy that's still remaining stunned is not going to be throwing any cards around. So it's a nice little exploit, if you will. Do one more fight here to gain a level. No, I'll fight the soldier, actually. Yeah, so like that was a mistake. Oh no. Oh, interesting. So in Sleeping Darkness, even if you run into them, they stay asleep. The downside is, not really a downside, but when you hit them first, in a non-strong initiative room, you're getting like an extra 5 damage dealt to them or something like that. But since I ran into them, I'm not getting that damage. But, it's minuscule. So I should note there is one more. Here I'll take our first slate. So this is going to be Sliding Dash. You may remember Sliding Dash from Kingdom Hearts 1. That's where Sora closed the distance if an enemy was too far away by riding his Keyblade like a skateboard, kind of, as I describe it. But to use this, you'll have to follow this recipe. So each slate has a slate page that tells you how to manufacture this slate to work. Okay? So, and it gives you the name and a brief description. So this is Sliding Dash. Slide towards distant targets for a close range attack. So it needs to be 3 attack cards of the same type. That means, as it's showing, we'll get different card types eventually. But for example, right now, all I have in my deck is Kingdom Keys. So I would be fine to run this combo because I have 3 attack cards of the same type, all Kingdom Keys. And then total value, so it's whatever the combined total of those 3 cards hits. It does not matter how it hits that combined total. So for in the example, it's showing 555. That's the most bog standard way to get there. This could also be 456, 375, any combination like that. And any value range inside of it. So it could also be, on the other side of 15, it could be 2, 4, 4, and that's 10. So some have a lot of flexibility like that one does, Sliding Dash does. So what I'm actually going to do really quickly is... Oh, one more thing about the map. So I know I said in Kingdom Hearts 1 that enemies kind of tend to respawn. When you go... I was talking about the 2-room rule, where if you run 2 rooms away, enemies start to spawn in to fill those gaps again. That is not the case in Chain of Memories. There's an exception to this, and we'll get to that in a minute. But once I've created a room, if I've cleared that room, and I'll take... actually, I'll talk about this in a minute when I get back to Sleeping Heartless Room. But you can also observe it here. You know, normally when I came up here, there was a Heartless popping out to attack me here. There was also a couple here. And you'll notice they're gone. That's because the rooms are fix loaded. So they spawn with however many Heartless the room requires. And then if you've slain them all, there are no more Heartless left in that room now. So you'll notice I ran into no Heartless there because I've cleared them out. So same thing in here. There should be, yep, there should be these 2 left. And the other 3 that were here are now all gone. So here's our first boss fight, and here's our first different way. So before we were saying, okay, we need to hit a number. Now it's even, this is one of the most generous ones that they do, but they combine these 2 eventually, so we'll be on the lookout for that. But this is, if I want the first one to go away, all I have to do is put in literally any green key of any number. It does not matter, but it has to be green. So I'll give up a stagnant space 0, and I put in the key to truth, and I can get in. Well, what do you know? It's Sora. Wait, what am I saying? I don't know you. But you do look like a Sora. Well, with that spiky hair and baggy pants. It's okay, Sid. That's my name. So, you heard of me, eh? Well, I can't say as I'm surprised. Anyway, maybe you can help me out. A friend of mine's supposed to be somewhere in this castle, town. Got any ideas? Your friend, huh? Lately all this town sees as heartless. Can't even take 2 steps without getting attacked. In fact, this plaza's the worst. Word is, a jumbo-sized heartless shows up when that bell rings. If you value your hide, you'll get out of here while the getting's good. Gosh, maybe we should leave. Don't you want to see the heartless? No, well don't. Exclamation point. The bell! Be careful, Sora! Remember this? Specifically, boss fights have 1 extra type of card that I'll try to talk about. This is our first boss fight. This is guard armor from Kingdom Hearts 1. Same strategy applies, where each of his parts have different health bars. So it looks like he's throwing out 3s, so I'll break that with 5s. He threw a 5 and matched me, he threw a 4 and matched me. He's throwing a 4, but I don't have the property to break that. I break it with a 0. He's throwing another 4. I need to reload, so I'll dodge out of that if I can. Alright, so this green Mickey Mouse looking 0 card, this is a gimmick card, okay? These effects differ on every single boss. And they are non-breakable. I can cast this at any time. And let's see what this one does. So now, guard armor will form into a pile and give me a short window to just beat him. Just no reprieve, just deal damage, not worry about card breaks or nothing. I should say that's one of the more generous ones. They're not generally that ridiculous. It just, you know, we disable the boss. Alright, so I'll throw down a proud roar here.
Freeze! Heal!
So Blizzard can't hit the body because it's too low. Here's another gimmick card. I do not believe there's a limit to how many gimmick cards you can get per boss battle. Toss that out so that he goes down. This will probably finish him off. And that's the first boss of the game. And you tend to get a lot of experience for bosses, so they're nice. And actually unique rewards for each one. Didn't quite level, but I think I got a lot of experience. So you'll always get the boss as an enemy card. So here's card gained, guard armor. And you can see in the background they're recreating the literally the Traverse Town from Kingdom Hearts 1. So your friend wasn't here? No, I don't think I'll find him in this town. But he's somewhere in this castle, I just know it. Castle? Like this whole town's inside some humongous castle? Ooh, that's rich. He's probably right, Sid. We may not understand what's going on, but Sora does. He can see that reality is bigger than just this world. I wish I was that sure. You'll be okay, Sora. No matter what shape reality takes, you can handle it. I may not remember you, but I know you in my heart. Leon, triple dots. Take care, Sora. I'm a little lost, but best of luck anyway. Aerith didn't need... Oh, never mind. What's up? I don't have all the answers, but I had to tell you something. Your memories created this town, right? That's what the guy who gave me the card said. If that's true, then this town is just a figment of your mind, and so are we. But you can't be a figment. You're standing right here. This town is here too. But I'm not really me. I don't remember the things that I should, and I sense things that I shouldn't. Sora, beware your memories. In the journey to come, you'll be faced with more illusions. Sometimes the shadow of your memories will deceive you and try to lead you astray. So, what exactly does that mean? I'm sorry. I'm just another illusion. The truth is out of my reach. Don't say stuff like that. It's depressing. Stay strong, Sora. Don't let the illusions distract you from what's truly important. Triple dots. Okay. Sora! Are you ready to go? Yeah, be right there. Well, I'd better be going. Aerith? Aerith! What about Aerith? Where did she go? I was just talking to her. Aerith left with Leon and the others, remember? Huh? Exclamation point, question mark. Little worried us just standing there by herself. Is this what she meant? So, okay, I think I lied. No, I didn't lie. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me show you this map really quick. I guess I didn't lie, but I was kind of wrong. Okay, so this is the end of floor 1, and we are now at what's called Conqueror's Respite. This is a reappearing room that will appear on every single floor. This is the last room in the world you can save your game. Now, just from knowledge of playing this game before, I'll tell you, because some people may wonder, well, there's that extra room below us. Why can't, or what's the point of it existing if this is the exit point? And it looks like it doesn't connect to anything. So literally, what's its point? Well, the point of it is, eventually, it'll connect to this once we get a certain card ability. And that will be what's called a secret room, and there will be unique bonuses inside that room that we'll need that special card for. So we will end up coming back to this map. However, anytime that I exit a floor, we had the unknown room, the moments reprieve, tranquil darkness, martial waking, sleeping darkness, and conqueror's respite. All of those will go away. And so let's say I approach from floor 1's base again. So I'll have to go, and I want to reach here. Okay, I'll have to go create a room, create a room, create a room, create a room, create a room. I believe at that point, create a room, and then create this room with the help of the bonus key. All these rooms will disappear anytime that I leave the floor. Okay. Hey, another card. One important thing to note is if I'm chasing that card, okay, and I get hit by an enemy, even if it says, "Oh, I don't know if this is a bug, to be honest, but I noticed even if I collect that card, but it's not faded from the announcement on the screen saying you've collected the card, it will not collect the card, if that makes sense. Now again, we'll take a look here. I don't know what that says, and it's hard without third person. See you again, okay? So this is the exit, and the exit door will always look like the inner white, kind of lavenderish color, or not lavender, the cream color of Castle Oblivion. And it's always sending you back into Castle Oblivion. So, and they always drop a save point right next to it. Generally, you'll always want to save your game here. So I'll save my game here. And as I said, that was the tutorial world, and it takes a really long time. So we're an hour 35 in. But most worlds won't take that long, because I won't have to explain them or anything like that. But again, I'm just going to drop a save, because I grabbed some Moogle points. And I am lazy. Saving takes a little longer in this game, so be patient. And we'll head through the door, and we'll run into all Castle Oblivion cutscenes will be voice animated and all that, so.
Well, Sora, did you enjoy meeting your memories?
Yeah, it was good to see everyone. But what do you really want from me?
What do you have to give?
Hello.
What do you want?
No hogging the hero.
Then perhaps you'd like to test him.
Perhaps I would. My show now, Keyblade Master. Who am I? Oh, my name's Axel. Got it memorized? Sure. Good. You're a quick learner. So, Sora, now that we're getting to know each other better, you go off and die on me now.
Alright, welcome to Axel's boss fight. He is my favorite character in the entire series. Alright, so this is a human fight. I believe at this point he won't... No, he does. Never mind. He's using slates, so I'll need to be prepared to break them out. I have 1 0 card in my deck for that reason. It's also... They're also very random on when he uses it. He's not dealing too much damage, so that's good. So yeah, as you saw, he tried to throw a 0 in my face, so I can break that with any card.
Come here, I'll make it all stop.
I'll make it all step. There's the flame wall, but I'll break that with a 0. He is elemental, he's fire-based. I mean, he's literally throwing fire. So Blizzard will do bonus damage. Any enemy that has an elemental tag like that, obviously, takes more damage to their elemental opposite. I'm gonna start stacking Goofy.
Come here, I'll make it all stop.
I'm still learning these controls. This is not a good combo, but fine. He can break this at any time he wants, by the way. I should note, I said earlier that boss cards, or boss fights have gimmick cards. That does not apply to Castle Oblivion fights. So yeah, this is a pretty easy fight. It's the first boss of the game, so yeah. Break. That's a 7.
Give me a break.
Get a bit of experience for it. And I get the fire card, fire spell.
Another one? What's it do?
Kinda looks like the card you used when you made Traverse Town.
Then I guess we're gonna need it to keep going.
That's right. Did you really think after that introduction I would give up oh so easily?
You were testing us.
And you passed. Congratulations, Sora. You're ready now. Ready to take on Castle Oblivion. You will need to follow your memories. Trust what you remember and seek what you forget. Then you will find someone very special.
You mean King Mickey and Riku?
You will just have to give some more thought to who it is that's most important to you. Our most precious memories lie so deep within our hearts that they're out of reach. But I'm sure that you can find yours, Sora.
Why me?
You have lost sight of the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten that you forgot.
The light within darkness?
Would you like me to give you a hint?
Sora, do you need it?
I'm gonna figure it out for myself. If you're in my way...
Don't worry, Sora. We'll protect you.
Good answer. Just what I'd expect from the Keyblade Master. But be forewarned. When your sleeping memories awaken, you may no longer be who you are now.
Alright, so this is the circuit, okay? So we'll talk about that in a second. Oh, we can talk about that now. Alright, so I'll go to pause menu, give this a showing, check where you are, and no, I don't want that. I want... Or what do I want? Okay, here. So world cards, okay? So this looks like it's laid out, okay? But I'm just going to spoil this and say it's not. I can go to these in any order. I have a particular order that I want to do this in to a degree. I want Agrabah last, and I'll explain that when we get there. There's a trick that you can do to harvest lots of Moogle points to shop for better cards. But what I'll end up probably doing, just to explain this now, is I'll probably go one...
What's wrong, Jiminy?
Well, you see, what Axel said back there worries me. What could he have meant by, you may no longer be who you are?
I may no longer be me. How can I be anyone else?
Of course. Still, you can't be too careful.
Yep. Feels like just about anything could happen here in Castle
Castle Oblivion.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
We'll be okay. Whatever it is they're cooking up, we'll be able to handle it together.
Course we will. Like at that creepy castle we explored together. The one with all those weird contraptions.
When was that?
I can't remember. What was it called?
Gorge. Oh, it was, Holly? Holler? Sorry, I can't remember.
What? Stop goofing around.
Goofy, sure you didn't make it up?
I don't think so.
So, we have a couple of things to talk about in this hallway, but so now, first thing, look on the bottom right, you'll see 2F, so second floor, entrance hall. And you'll always be in the entrance hall of the number that you were previously in's world +1's entrance hall on the next round. There's also this black sphere that we'll take a look at in a second, and we'll have a save point. Actually, it'll introduce it to itself. This swirling sphere in front of Sora is called a warp point. You can freely move to and from floors that have already been completed. Stand near it and press triangle to open the World Warp menu. This is true. This has zero practical application right now. This is very handy for when you're treasure hunting later. So I can say, okay, my current world is nondescript because I haven't put in a card yet, but I'm on second floor, and I could warp down to the entrance of Traverse Town if I wanted to. I won't, but I can. And it says you can revisit worlds you've been to before, okay? Save point, refresh his health. I'll drop a save because I beat Axel and got fire and talked to Goofy and Donald and all that. Alright, so now we're Sora level 6, we're on Proud Mode, 268, blah blah blah. So now they again have another 2 dialogues committed to them, and then you go through the door for the next one, so we'll read these. Horror. Halo. That's funny. Why can't I remember? We'll be here all week if we want for Goofy to remember. And just again, same thing. So it's always just one line of dialogue packed in. Now, as I said, we have a slew of options here, okay? So I can flip between any of these. So I can say, okay, I want to go to Wonderland, I want to go to Monstro, I want to go to Halloween Town, I want to go to Agrabah, or I want to go to Olympus Coliseum. As you may be able to pick up by now, these will be reflections of worlds that you've been to before in the first game. A notable exception will be there is no deep jungle in this game because the rights for that world were taken away after the first game because whoever owned it didn't want it being recreated. It's a whole thing. It's very interesting. I find it to be a fun fact. So I can do these in any order that I want. important to note is whatever world I choose next, the experience scales based on that world. So as this will be second floor, I'll get, maybe 5 experience per enemy. But if this was 5th floor, I would get, 25, if we will. It does not matter what world that's in. So you can plan around that. And also, knowing a little bit about this game, you can know what enemies are in there and what their cards are punching. And that can also help decide. But even if you don't, you won't get into too much trouble picking these in a random order. I tend to do an order that I generally vary a little bit, but most of the time my next first world is always Wonderland, because it has some of the best quotes in this game. So we're going to go ahead and tackle Wonderland, and then just so that I've said this again, I'll probably do Monstro next, then either Olympus Coliseum or Halloween Town, then the other, and then end with Agrabah. But for now, we can start with Wonderland. Hey, somebody's coming.
I'm late! I'm late! I'm dreadfully awfully late! The Queen will roast me for dinner. If I'm late for the trial, it will be off with my head next! What do you mean, off with your head? Oh, my fur and whiskers! I'll never make it! Off with his head? For such a peaceful-looking place, it sure... it sounds pretty dangerous.
So welcome to Wonderland. And again, we get the Key of Beginnings. And again, as I've said, they style these in the style that the first game had. They take they take some creative liberties and they add new enemies for each world. So, if you remember from first game, one of my least favorite enemies, the Fat Bandit, is back. And you'll also notice I'm now gaining 7 experience per shadow, where I was gaining 3 before. So then the experience scales pretty well, up to a certain point, and then it kind of, These are new enemies, the little horn guys. These are crescendos. Ooh, you broke my sticks? How'd you do that? Oh, the crescendos are breaking that. The crescendos have high cards. Yeah, they're running 6s.
Donald! Freeze! Power!
One good strategy to pay attention to is to knock out the highest card-throwing enemy first.
Donald!
Number-throwing enemy. That is what is worthwhile of being afraid of from the crescendo. That's their biggest skill. Now, since this is the card-based game, and if you're throwing numbers higher than they are, you can always interrupt it. It gets worse in Kingdom Hearts 2. I'll just say they appear in Kingdom Hearts 2. But you can interrupt that summon anytime. But as I didn't, he spawned an entire new Fat Bandit, so not great. Alright, another decision here. So I've got another slate. You may recognize this from my first playthrough where it was God tier. This is Stun Impact. It's not as God tier in this game. I will be taking HP boost at this point. I'll take it later. I'll get most of the slates, if not all. So there should be either 1 or 2 unique enemies in this world. Of course, then also the boss.
Freeze!
Actually, the boss.
Courage!
Well, we've seen this boss before, but it's unique to this world, I suppose.
Power!
There it is. I don't know its name, but it shoots spines and is really annoying. So there's sliding dash. No. The other trick that the crescendo can pull is it can heal.
Courage!
Yeah. Simba takes too long to load up, so he can be easily broken if somebody has a card to match it.
Guilty!
The other unique thing about this flower is he cannot be sent skyborne.
Power!
So Goofy tries to send an enemy skyborne to be knocked to the ground. The flowers can't be knocked skyborne. Stagnant space. So let's take a look here. Okay, we have the key to beginnings attached to the room we're already in. And it should be this. However, there's vines on it, and they won't break from being attacked. So this is a map-specific thing. So you'll notice this weird-looking... I'm sorry, there's no first person in this game. You'll notice this weird-looking purple flower. So let's go towards that purple flower. I'm gonna clear this enemy out so I can focus on the flower. So you'll notice sliding dash does a lot of damage. Slates do a lot of damage, but as he said, that's the drawback is it can empty your deck. So you just gotta be careful with them.
Heal!
They're also good if you get annoyed by having your cards broken. Let's go ahead and take the new slate. Sora learns Stun Impact. Stun surrounding enemies with a single attack. 3 attack cards of the same type. As I explained, that's a single... like the Kingdom Key is one type. We will currently never be able to activate this with our current deck because I don't have 3 cards that combine up to a total value between 20 and 23, but later we'll probably be able to use this. And it's a stun, but it's a slate. Alright, so this pink flower, or purple flower. So if I beat it up, you'll notice all the vines disappear, okay? So now we can get into the first little room. So the criterion's any green card and the key. I'll give him a 5 stagnant space in the key. And we're ready for more plot. Gosh, looks like some kind of get-together. What's the occasion?
Hal, this must be the trial that Robert was talking about. Alice, do you understand the charges against you? Of course not. I've done nothing wrong.
Feigning... I don't have a voice for her, to be honest. Feigning ignorance, dear. You are charged with aiding the creatures called Heartless who threaten my kingdom.
Fiddlesticks! Where's the evidence?
The evidence is... I forgot. That's the evidence. Because you, Alice, are the one who stole my memory.
We can't rid the kingdom of Heartless until we get Her Majesty's memory back. This is a serious crime. This is so unfair. So what if you're a queen? Don't blame me just because you can't remember things. Such insolence. You're talking to the Queen of Hearts. And to think, I might have let you go had you apologized straight away. What a brazen thief. Who's the brazen one?
Sora?
The court has reached a verdict. Off with her head. Hold it. This trial is a farce. You should investigate before you arrest innocent people. What is the meaning of this? How dare you suggest Alice didn't steal my memory? I suppose you know who the real culprit is then? Huh?
3 dots.
Speak, or it's off with all your heads. Now out with it. Who's the thief?
Triple dots.
I'm the thief.
Say that again.
Gosh, really? Of course not. But what else am I supposed to say?
Literally anything else.
This is really screwy, Sora. Cards, seize them all.
So yeah, it follows the plot of the original, but it uses some subtle, like, I shouldn't even say subtle. It uses some changes where I'm trying to remember what they stole her heart or something like that in the first game, and here they've stolen her memory. This is technically considered a boss battle, so there is no running from this. Unlike in the first game, these enemies, the cards, can actually be killed instead of knocked out. I don't even know if killed, but they vanish, you know? The concentric circle that he runs, by the way, is based around your character. So he'll circle wherever you are.
Heal. Freeze. Yeah. Funnel.
So Donald can cast, as we've already seen, but I'll say this again. He can cast Cure, Thunder, Blizzard, and Fire. I should be focusing the red cards, but it's hard to pay attention. It's hard to target them, I should say. Nice, he captured the heal.
Yeah, heal. There.
I can't believe you're breaking a 7, Jesus.
Power. Yeah. Goofy.
No. Wow, this shouldn't last and do any damage, but alright. Ooh. Move.
Yeah.
That was close. Huh, I never noticed. She's just sitting up there watching. So we get the enemy card, Card Soldier.
Woo! Whack? Where's Alice?
Looks like she escaped.
Perhaps she did, but you won't.
I think we've been trumped. Run! Given the key to guidance. Unfortunately, it maintains your health. However, little hack, since I'm still at the beginning and exiting the level doesn't change it, it only changes the floor pattern. Even if I was a room ahead, it only changes the floor pattern when I'm exiting that floor, not that level. I'll just use this save point. And they all have little animated effects, which is cute. Present opens like a present. Mushroom spawn spores. What's this? That is the ending key.
Goofy!
Whoa!
Freeze!
I didn't expect that to work, but okay.
Goofy!
Whoa!
Alright, so we got our first calm bounty. These are important, these are treasure rooms. So we'll take a look at that when we get the first opportunity too. Unfortunately, that was a 2 card, so I don't know what doors it'll open. Ah, it'll open this door, so we can take a look at Calm Bounty. This is a blue card. Almost all blue cards are safe cards. Safe as in their Heartless won't spawn. You can see on the bottom left, Heartless is 0, or there's no stars filled in, and the room size is minuscule. And it says, a room containing treasure. You generally only need to spawn 1 of these cards per level, but they'll give you a unique bonus. So you'll see here, and they're wonderful to farm Moogle points on. Now it's random what spawns from these things, and then right there, there's an item card. So they're good to spawn health, Moogle points, and cards if you need them, without needing to worry about running into any enemies. So if I hit all these, so there's a card. Is it any good? It's a 3 kingdom key, so it's trash. So Sora will open this chest, and we get Stop. Okay, so that's the unique reward in this world. So Stop returns from Kingdom Hearts 1 for some unexplicable reason, and does the same thing that it does in Kingdom Hearts 1. However, it has a lot more application in this game, because if an enemy's stopped, they can't be throwing cards at you, and if they can't throw cards at you, you can't be broken. So in a way, it's better. This is a dilemma here. Sometimes you'll run into this where I don't actually know which of these 2 connects to the room I want to get to, which is here. So I may have to check both. I'll start by checking this one. So I need a 3+, so I'll show off strong initiative. I was talking about this earlier. If I get the first hit, enemies will spawn with almost no health. If I don't, it'll be a normal enemy combat. So, okay, so I got the hit. You can see, because you have scanned default equips, I'm literally clearing these out with 1 hit. Now, second round spawns, so if enemies spawn after the first set appears, they will spawn with full health. So it only works, as I said, on initiative, on initial enemies.
Freeze! Heal!
Another com bounty, and that's a 1, so it's very possible I won't ever use it. So you'll notice now that slates are not highlighted. Slates only come every couple levels, so if you are constantly taking slates every time that they're available, there will be downtime between when this slate and the next slate's available. So here I'll have to choose between HP and CP. I'll pretty soon feel like I'm getting a boost to my cards, so I'll boost my CP to allow me to hold more cards, because I have an acceptable amount of health. I've spent 3 levels up on it, or 2. It's important to note the stun is not the same as the stun impact ability from Kingdom Hearts 1. It does not last forever. The initial stun when I have initiated the fight, and it goes away after like 10-15 seconds, maybe less. Oh, wonderful! Here's a Moogle room. Okay, so I'll get to show this off. I only have 314, but that's enough for some stuff. So it looks like I was right on my pick, and I'm linked to the next room. So I will go up there and do the second event, and then we'll take a look at a Moogle room. Moogle rooms are also safe rooms, so there'll be no enemies inside of there.
Goofy! Whoa! Yeah! Freeze!
Sometimes combos, slates I should say, use 2 cards, not all 3. So Goofy Smash requires the first 2, so that's why when it finishes, you're seeing Sora do a attack. I did not even see that thing. I won't be running from fights in this playthrough. So if you're thinking, why aren't you just running or something, you know? That's why. See if I can sneak this in. I can. These are actually pretty deadly enemies.
Goofy! Whoa! Yeah!
So you'll now notice I'm chucking 1+ cards. The visual will stay the same, but the values will change on the top.
Courage!
So those were a 6-6 and a 6, and those are now 7-7-7.
Heal!
And now I'm gonna reload, and you'll see the reload count go down to 1, and that's how many I had left on that ability. And then it runs out and is just gone for the rest of that combat until you either win or die. Let me check my deck. So I got fire earlier, and I want to put that in. So I'm going to put that right where Blizzard is. I actually want that to be below Blizzard. And then I'll reset. So let's take a look here. Increases the swing speed of attack cards. This is another limit set. It doesn't always have to be reloads. So just 30 straight attacks. So any succession of attacks that you can whip off, that's as long as once it hits 30, this card goes away. Another one is slightly extends the range of attack cards. This is actually a really good ability for certain playstyles because it allows you to hit from way farther away than you think. And this lets you do slower Keyblades that are more powerful quicker. But, oh, actually, yeah, they can start, enemy cards can get very expensive. There are enemy cards that are 99 points, and just for a comparison point, that is 4 levels up of points. And I had a Kingdom Key. There's a 2 and 3s. I don't care. So I gotta go. I need to smash this flower over here. Wow, another level up.
Yeah! Freeze!
A 9 moments reprieve, that means I'll be able to save almost anywhere with no exceptions. I'm taking CP there to let my deck be better. No! Oh, good. So, okay, we got our first secondary King Keyblade. So, as I showed in the journal, you can get more detailed stats, but we can take a quick look at stats. So, remember, our Kingdom Key is D+, it's the worst attack in the game. So Lady Luck is a C, it's a physical, and the recovery is a B. The Kingdom Key is also a B, so it's not great, but this is a 5, so I'm going to put that above the 4. I generally just stack them in order, I don't do anything fancy. They do that fancy thing at the beginning where they say, oh, 4, 3, then 4, then 3, and it's like, alright. I generally don't edit that out. So now I have 1 extra card there, and my deck's a little bit stronger. I can take a look at this door. Okay, so this is another type. This is cards with numbers totaling 15 or higher. It's important to note that this requirement doesn't care at all about colors, so you can toss any 3 cards as long as they match 15 or higher. So it isn't like blackjack. You're not having to stop on 15. You don't have to calculate it. You can overshoot it. So generally I'll just feed these whatever my worst cards are, so I don't care about Stagnant Space, and I don't care about Sleeping Darkness. That's an exact match, and I'll give them the key to guidance, and we can go in the second room. Things got a little crazy back there, but at least you're okay. I don't mean to be ungrateful, but was that true, what you said? Are you the thief? What? Of course not. Why would I steal the Queen's memory? Yep, Sora only said that because he wanted to save. To show off! Is that right? Well, you saved me all the same. Thank you. Oh, Cheshire Cat time! It's the Cheshire Cat. Feeling better after that mad dash, are we? Oh, but you're not out of the woods yet. The Queen's a stickler for justice. She won't forget you till she remembers. She won't stop hounding you till you get her memory back. Did she forget because she remembers? Does she remember that she forgot? Doesn't matter, I suppose. I don't know. I think we ought to just stay away from her. But Zora, what about Alice? If the Queen catches her again, it's off with, well, you know. Then I guess we better do something about this Queen. You should do something, but you don't have to do anything.